Hi there, I'm Andre from P Motorcycles. I'm here at EICMA 2025. This is in Milan, in Lombardy, in Italy, and I'm here at the Kove stand, depending on your pronunciation. I've been a fan of their bikes for a few years. I've got one of the first 450 rallies that came to the UK, and I've just been amazed at how their evolution has come along. I'm going to show you around the stand. They've got a few bikes here. They've got their latest version of the 450 rally, they've got the 800, and then a couple of the new things as well. So I'll point out what I can. I don't own the other bikes, so I'm not completely clear on what is new. They do have a press conference later where I'm sure they'll go through that. But for now, I'll just show you what the stand is like and what they have here. So I'm going to start with the Kove 250 MX Enduro. I know when these first came out, it was just just as the crossers, but yeah, the Enduro version with the headlamp, it's a little bit more practical. I haven't seen any of those out in the UK yet, so I'm not sure if we have them or if we're getting them. This one here is the MX 450 Cross R. 450 based motocross bike. Looks pretty tidy. For those of you who follow the channel will know that motocross bikes really are not my area of expertise, so I won't even attempt to talk you through what we have on this one, other than that is Kove's version of it, and it looks pretty cool. Right then, this might be a bit more interesting to people. So this is the Kove 450 Rally EX, or EX Rally. This is actually the Dakar bike that you can buy pretty much off the shelf and is ready to go if you want to go racing. More and more of these crop up in the Dakar every year. There's certainly a few in Saudi last year. Certainly a little different to what I have in my street going version. Mostly changed at the front end where they've got that big roadbook holder and the controls that go with it. No mirrors, of course, on that front end. It does come with that Scott steering damper. The front tanks look the same. The rear tank has shifted the fueling hole, the fuel cap to the right hand side of the bike, which makes sense for fueling on a stand. Coming down this side, it does have that EX Rally exhaust, which is different to the stock one that I have on my bike. Forward of there, it all looks fairly similar, though I can see that the bash plate on that bike is a lot thicker than the one that I have on mine. Those bits that look carbon on the front forks are actually just stickers on the front side of that. But yeah, that is the rally bike. If any of you are actually serious about doing some proper rallies, maybe this is on your shopping list. We then have another Enduro bike. This is the Enduro MX 450 Enduro RE. Again, very tidy. Just looking exactly what we've got in there. Does have an ignition key. Does have a miniature dash. That's probably all you need on a bike like this. Does have fully adjustable suspension. So yeah, number plate hanger as well, and full indicators. So yeah, definitely the sort of bike you'll be able to take on a road. Maybe that's sort of the future of dual sports. I had been waiting for a gap to show you the 800s, but they're very popular. So the first up is the 800 Rally. This is the super lightweight version that they have. It is now Euro 5 Plus compliant. They've taken a lot of things off it because of the lighter weight. Like it only has a single disc at the front, and it's it's a claimed 176 kilo curb weight. So yeah, that is ready to ride. What we have here is the 800X Pro. This is the 2026 model. A little bit heavier. This one weighs in at 190 kilos with a 19-litre fuel tank. A few differences. So it does come with the tubeless wheels, which you don't get on the Rally. And then I come up and show you further towards the back of the bike. It's got that big luggage rack. It has this luggage rack on the back of the bike that's quite practical. Coming up and over the front, you can see it now has the fly-by-wire throttle over there on the right, and then that means here we have a few things like the cruise control, which I think was missing from the earlier models. So yeah, still pretty lightweight at 190 kilos curb weight. That is still 15 kilos lighter than a Tenere 700. Yeah, really, really nicely equipped, nicely finished bikes. So that's quite hard to get in and show you. This is the 800X GT. So this is more of the touring bike. This is the one that has, this one has the full luggage on the back of it. You do lose a little bit of that right pannier for the exhaust, but it comes with the top box and the left pannier. Coming down the side, it's got the same cruise control and electronic throttle. It does have the smaller front wheel. I think that's the main difference from the Rally Pro. Yeah, it's just got a 19-inch front. I don't think that's a problem. I had that on my 1250 GS and it worked just fine. The bike we have here is now the 450 Rally RE. So I guess this is the new version of what I have. Everything looks pretty similar. I'll just see if I can pick out anything that has changed a bit from mine. Struggling at the moment. It still all looks kind of the same, similar seats. Maybe the design has changed slightly. Yeah, it's got a second lambda sensor in there, so I guess this is now Euro 5 Plus compliant, which mine isn't. The back end still looks the same with a fuel tank there, still no breather on it. but I know aftermarket breathers are available. I do see quite a few of them out. There's quite a few of these that was on the Dark Skies 500, the Rally Moto event that I did recently. And yeah, I think it's great. You know, it's definitely a step up for me from my CRF. So we have the Kove 510X. Now, I think this is up against things like the Honda NX 500. But if you look at the spec on this bike, right, it has tubeless wheels. It does come with a center stand and a bash guard and crash bars. Coming up over the seat, you've got that highly stepped rear seat for a pillion. And then up and over the bars, this one has a USB socket, it has a 12-volt socket, it's got a smallish dash in there in the middle. But yeah, really, really nicely laid out. And you know, these things are made to a budget, but bear in mind it still has fully adjustable suspension. You know, I think we're seeing so many of these bikes coming through now where they've just upped the level that you get on everything. I mean, this one comes with KYB forks, it comes with Nissin double discs at the front. Obviously everything has ABS these days. I'm sure everything has LED lights as well, as that's now pretty much the standard. So I was hoping that they'd move out of the way from the 625X. They seem to be doing something probably to try and show off the suspension because they're running some cables in for it. But again, it comes with a 19-inch front wheel that's tubeless. You know, the front end certainly has styling cues that look very similar to the rally bike. It comes with that front camera. I think it's a manually adjustable screen, but things like it's got that 12mm bar in place for a nav should you need it. It has keyless. It looks like it's manually adjustable forks, but it's the rear shock. If I can get around these gentlemen. Maybe not. I can give you a quick look in under the seat. Yeah, it's the rear shock that is electrically adjustable, and this one comes fully kitted up for touring. While they're working on it, I can't really show you the bike, but what I can show you is what they have here is the electronically adjustable settings. It's electronic preload for both rider only, rider plus load, and a passenger mode. Right then, last few, let's look at some super sports. So yeah, here we have the Kove Dash. I think it's a 450 4-cylinder sort of super sports. We're seeing quite a few of these now this year. I think the Kove one actually looks pretty cool. I think it's a much more practical displacement for riding on the road where you can really ride it. There's so many amazing bikes out there from a lot of the larger manufacturers that do incredible things, but unless you're on a track, you're really going to struggle to get the most out of it. I mean, this bike weighs 165 kilos curb weight with a 15-litre tank, which makes 52 kilowatts and 39 Newton meters out of that 4-cylinder power plant. It's an inline-4 water-cooled 4-stroke. And that same bike is also available as a factory race bike. They have 3 of them lined up on here. So we have the 450, I can't get that close to it. And then up there we have the Kove 350 RR, which is a championship winning bike. As I come down this side, this is something new. This is a 650. I'm not sure what's in that. It must be a 4, I think. It's a 650 RR. I will check the board as I come past it. But again, moving up a level in terms of size. But again, looking at this, it's a bike with electronic suspension. It's a bike with keyless ignition. The spec of these things really is just coming on in leaps and bounds, and they're normalizing a lot of these things that used to only be on the biggest and the best. Now, this bike is a 4-cylinder, which is great. It's the lightest in its class for a 650, and the curb weight of this bike is a mere 180 kilos. I mean, compared to a lot of the adventure bikes that are out there, I mean, a lot of them dream of getting down to that weight, and I'm sure it goes really well. Super sports aren't really my thing. I think I'm getting too old, and I much prefer an upright riding position. But to see bikes like that coming through from manufacturers like Kove is brilliant. And last but by no means least, I think this is the road-going version of the Kove 300 RR. We had the track bike up on the stand. I mean, this one obviously has a tail tidy for the road. I come up and over the seats, just give you a look at that. And it's not complicated. I mean, I'm sure some of you think, gosh, 350 for a road bike for a super sports is barely a super sports. But if you're coming from a 125 or a new rider, maybe something like that, especially if they are winning on the track, is something that would be of interest. Right, that's it. That's my look around the Kove stand here at EICMA 2025. Hope that's been interesting and useful. I mean, it is starting to get busy here. The media day used to be all day on Tuesday, now we only have till 1. And actually just seeing how busy it is already, it's quite hard to film the bikes. Nevertheless, hopefully that shows you what is coming from Kove in the coming year. And if that has been interesting and useful, maybe check out my other content from the show. Thanks for watching.